Hey.
We need a theme song.
Yeah.
I've been talking to Dorina about it. I'm on it. It'll
Oh.
happen.
Oh, okay.
It'll happen
Dorina,
this
is
season.
Dorina going to write us a theme song?
She's that's all she's doing now is composing.
I had no idea. We're going to have her back on.
Yeah. She left the other stuff that she was doing to work on her own stuff. Anyways, welcome,
everyone. Hello. Welcome back to C&C in Conversation. What was the last one we did of these?
Oh my.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
We definitely did one after Linder, didn't we?
No, she might have been it. She might have been the last one.
She was, yeah, she might have been. But welcome. We do want to start being a little more regular with these again.
Yes.
So if you're joining us tonight, thank you for
season 4, baby.
Back season 4. Season 3 was like 1, maybe 2 episodes.
No, we had a good many in season 3. Yeah. Go look at the YouTube channel and subscribe and
like and subscribe. Studio C&C. There's, just so you know, when you put it in, put quotes around Studio C&C, because there is Studio C and it's a really lame comedy channel, and that's what you're going to see all of when you put Studio C&C, and you're going to just see Studio C and all their dumb sketches. Sorry. I shouldn't have said it that way. But it's true.
Or like include one of our names, like Crissy, Guerrero, or Claudia Doll, So yeah.
It's kind of like sketches that they did on like Nickelodeon, like the kids show stuff.
My dog knows now, apparently.
It's not my thing.
The cameras are rolling, and so is now walking all around underneath me.
Of course, that's how it works. They can feel it.
How's it going? Because the last time we chatted, we had a C&C and coffee, and that was right before the Olympics. Now the Olympics have concluded. Yes. Regular Olympics. We also have Paralympics coming up, thank God, because I am mourning the loss of the Olympics.
Our friend Jackie's niece has won a medal.
What? Stop it!
Special Olympics. Yes, I can't remember what category she competed in, but yes, she's a medal winner. Yeah, pretty amazing. Yeah, I watched some of the Olympics the first week. I got to see some of the skateboarding, some of the surfing, some of the gymnastics.
Amazing.
I saw all of the clips of the guy who knocked off the bar with his penis. Saw that a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know it happened initially, and then I heard about it, and then I couldn't not see it everywhere.
It's disturbing.
Ow.
Well, that and were you the one? No, I think Jackie's the one who sent me the swimmer.
The swimmer?
Who? Was he a French swimmer? With just a giant package in his Speedos.
Oh, the diver?
One
of the divers. I think it's one of the divers.
Yeah. I don't know, because I looked away right away.
Honestly, their Speedos
I didn't look at
are
details.
Like Tom Daly, who's just retired, but he's, Great Britain's superstar diver. He was on Graham Norton once and brought his Speedo and that he had actually just worn. It was at one of the last Olympics that he was in. And Graham Norton picked it up and he was like, seriously? They're so little.
They're teeny.
So teeny. Yeah.
They're teeny. Yeah. And this man was not teeny. No. It was one of those guys where the women were like, oh no.
No. That's hilarious. Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that guy. But it was
that's what I remember of the Olympics.
I just loved it all. I was like, oh, this just solidifies my teenage self of I should have gone, my whole thing was I'm gonna go to Paris and live there and write poetry and smoke and drink espresso all day. And I was like, yeah, I think I should still do that.
God. Why wouldn't you? If that's an option, why wouldn't you do that?
I don't know if it's an option, but I really loved it. for some reason I just feel like there was a ton of joy in the Olympics this year,
Well,
seeing all of our gymnasts do so great. And then Sha'Carri Richardson from Dallas. Dallas is a theme tonight. But, a girl from Dallas, finally medal, got a gold and a silver, amazing.
good for her.
And
what was the controversy with the bronze being taken away from
well, that's
Childs?
still a whole thing. Jordan Childs, there at this point, they have let her keep the medal, but they are stripping her record. So it's like she didn't exist. But the newest thing now is that one of the guys who was on the panel, because she deserves it. One of the guys who was on the panel actually is a lawyer for the Romanian government. He's the one who decided all of this. So they are still in litigation. So I think this is going to be like a long drawn out kind of a thing. But I love the Jordan Childs, love Simone, love Suni, love all those girls. They were all amazing. They did such a fantastic job. The guys did amazing as well. I mean, it's so inspiring to see, especially the women gymnasts this year after everything that they've gone through mentally, physically. Suni Lee has been battling a kidney disease, and came back from that. The Brazilian gymnast who took gold on the floor, Rebecca, she had 3 torn ACLs, over the course of her career the past few years. Like, just to watch all that, I just think is amazing, especially with the whole foot thing that I've gone through. Like, I mean, I'm not comparing myself to an Olympian, but I just go, okay, these people came back from these crazy injuries.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
inspiration.
I ran today.
What? That's giant. That is giant news. Wow.
I was taking Piper. That's what I wanted to tell you. I was taking Piper out for a walk this morning, and she just, after she pooped, she got really excited, and I felt like she wanted to run.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah. And I was like, let's give it a go. I'm just running down the block, and a trip, whatever. But we ran a whole block.
Wow. Congratulations. Yay. Yay for Claudia. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, my dogs are barking for you.
Yay. Thank you, boys. So that was kind of huge.
Yeah, that's very huge. Yes. Yeah. Be proud of yourself. That's amazing. You've been through a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
so now I'm anxious to see the Paralympic. I just, especially in my brain, I have the swimming in my head that I really want to watch, because once I had this, freak injury, the first time I got in the pool, I was like, well, I'll be able just to swim, no problem. Again, taking for granted what one foot can do for you.
Yeah.
Swimming has never been harder. I was like, whoa, this is not easy.
Well, and that motion.
Yeah, when there's no motion, there's So I'm just impressed with people who have, are missing limbs and are able to swim meters upon meters. Like, I'm just astonished.
Incredible.
But did you see the Celine Dion?
Oh, well, yeah, I did see that.
Oh, so
that was really
another inspirational moment. Everything she's gone through, and
seeing her be able to sing that, it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
And Jackie was translating the song as she sang it, and it's just really beautiful and poignant, exactly right for the moment.
Yes, absolutely.
So it was really
beautiful.
Very inspiring and very touching.
And
the whole Olympics, I love the idea of it anyway. This that the entire world, for the most part, gets together and does this, and these athletes are, they also encourage each other, and it is a good lesson for our country.
Well, I feel like, and this is again hysterical, because I did not live through the Bella Caroli era. We just watched it, but I felt like such a relief that we are not in that Caroli very abusive dominance of the Olympic world for so many years, because there was such great sportsmanship between everyone. It was so lovely to see, and everybody just giving each other hugs afterwards. I was like, oh yeah, I was crying like every other meet, whatever. It was great.
Yeah, Well, yeah, I missed the second week entirely. I had family in town, and I had all sorts
Oh, an
of
air
things.
conditioner broke.
Air conditioner broke in the hottest days of summer, right 2 days before the family was coming in for a week. It's still not fixed. They had
Oh.
to have asbestos remediation first. Yeah, built in the 60s, this place. Asbestos remediation, and then the guy came today to close up the hole, only he couldn't close up the hole because apparently when they did the remediation, they bashed the air conditioning duct,
Oh,
and
no.
now that has to be replaced before. So
Oh, no.
yeah, it's just a whole can of worms.
Oh,
It's been fun. It's been
yeah.
fun.
That's fun. Oh, one more thing before we bring in our guest, and I'm really excited.
And are you gonna our announcement?
Oh yeah, two more things.
Okay.
I just one this thing I wanted to share with you because I thought it was really funny. Just my emotional state. Freak injury for anybody watching. What? What, Dad? What? Oh, is he talking about your air conditioner? I thought he was talking about the show. I was like, well,
it's terrible. Yeah, I think he's talking about my air conditioner.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jack.
Be
right on that plane.
I went and had a voice lesson with our dear Bob Garrett.
Yeah,
because it'd been a while, and I've been. He's a costly person, vocal teacher, because he's famous, and he'll tell you that. But so finally I did it the other day. I went and had a great voice lesson. I didn't realize because of all the stress and stuff that I've been going through. I mean, I'm just like this all the time. And he was like, I'm just watching you sing and you're just doing this the whole. And I was like, no, my child. And he's like, you're just like. I was like, okay. So we're working on this song that I really love, and it's like he didn't know it that well, and it's a Brandy Carlisle song, and so I'm crying, he's getting emotional, blah blah blah. At the end of it, he goes, "Have you ever thought about Lexapro?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I was on it for a long time." So I was like, "Yeah, I actually have thought about it, and you're not wrong." I was like, "Yeah." It's been the hardest year of my life, and yeah, you're not. Yeah, and he was like, I just got it from my. He's like, he's on it. He's like, I just got it from my doctor, and I was like,
he's like,
yeah,
everything's good.
And I was like, nope. I am very familiar with Lexapro, and I was like,
hilarious.
But thank you for noticing.
Bob's very helpful. I love
very
Bob.
helpful in
I love Bob.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah, it was a great like release and just great. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Well, and we have other great news.
Yeah.
We are booked for our annual holiday show, number 12, our 12th annual, right? Yeah.
12? Yeah, 12.
Yeah. 12th annual holiday show. December 1st at 3 clubs in Hollywood. So put your save the dates on your calendar right now. We will have more and more info as we go along about our guests, and but save the date, December 1st. It's a Sunday. And
it's almost exact because the first show was December 3rd. Early. It was that first weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. And then y'all get to have the rest of your month. So save December 1st for us. You should, if you don't already, follow us on Instagram, and of course, subscribe to us on YouTube, so that you get all the info possible and all our shows leading up to that.
New venue,
which
and we're really excited about.
We're super excited. That? It's a great. I think I just did. I said 3 clubs.
Did you? Okay, sorry. I was thinking about myself.
But tonight, we should get on with it.
Oh,
we've made these women wait long enough for us. We have an amazing group of women coming on today. They are the choir of the Polyphonic
Polyphonic
Spree. I'm going to add them one by one as you talk.
I'm just going to talk about some of the credits that you might have seen
go
them
for
in.
it. And I'm going to remove
Light and Day was a song that really put them on the map because it was used in all sorts of campaigns, commercial. Otherwise, they were on the TV show Scrubs. They were featured in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. They performed at South by Southwest. They've been on the show Las Vegas, which I really enjoyed that show and was so happy to see them walk around Las Vegas. The Big Short was the last one I saw them. I saw them in. I was going to go with my friend Jess to see The Big Short because their song was, they were featured in the movie, and I didn't realize how depressing of a movie it was for Christmas Day. I don't like movies about financial collapse, and it was really like,
that was
horrifying. And then,
but the music was great.
The music was great. The movie was really hard for me. And then I was really pleasantly surprised. We heard them a bunch. They were featured in Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I freaking love that movie so much.
Oh, so much.
Then watched Alex Edelman's show, and he closes his show just for us. And he closes it with a polyphonic song. And I was like, that's fantastic. That's really cool. So here you guys are.
Welcome.
Constance, my sister.
Hi. Hello.
Kristen Harden, also I feel is part of the family. Jen Penn, Jessica Marie Jordan, and we're waiting on the diva Stephanie Dolph.
Those Dolphs, let me tell you.
Got a lot of nerve.
Those Dolphs. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
We will say we wanted to have you guys on for a long time. We've been talking about this for a while now. I've been trying to coordinate with Stephanie, but it seemed like a good time since you guys are about to go on your West Coast tour, which we're thrilled about over here because you've got a lot of fans and you don't come out here as much, you know?
No.
So we are super stoked to see everybody.
Except you're doing it when I will be back east.
Oh, no.
Which I am not thrilled about.
Sorry, Christy.
I'll have to catch you again another time. But I have seen you perform before, or seen Spree, perform before. And man, it's always an amazing show. Just always, like, so uplifting and just that it's that wall of sound feeling, where it's just like envelops you. And I just love it. The energy that you all have, and it just always gives me chills, all of it.
Should we start with Jen Penn?
Sure.
And if she doesn't want to talk about it, then we'll just have Kristen talk about her. But Jen and Jessica have been with the band from the get-go. You guys want to tell us a little bit about what your experience was when the band first started? What was your thinking going into it? Did you think you'd be here 24 years later?
No. I was like, who's laughing? Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I think Jennifer should go first. She's like the original choir member. I hopped in a second later, but
no, I mean, I was a baby, like, number one, and how I honestly got into the band is by being a huge fan of one of my favorite bands still to this day, Tripping Daisy.
Yes.
And I will never forget, like, I mean, I was 17, 18 going to their shows, and, Tim and those guys I worshiped them, and he just kind of took me under his wing. I went through that phase every girl goes through of photography. So I was taking a lot of pictures and then showing them at the next show that I would see them. And he was just so cool. Like, he never acted like he was too good to sit down and have a real conversation with me. And I remember, like, where he was like, well, so what is your story? Like, what do you do? And I go, oh, I'm going to school for vocal performance. And I can just see this, like, light go off. And he said, say what? And I was like, yeah, like, opera. Like, I was the youngest member of the Tulsa Opera. And, like, that's just what I've done my entire life. And he was like, that is so interesting. So fast forward to Tripping Daisy was no longer. and I had moved to Dallas just because I was originally from here, and I just kind of felt this beckoning. Like, I mean, in the 90s, the Dallas music scene was insane.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of felt like this like beckoning, pulling me back to it. And I'm so glad I did. I'd been here for maybe a couple months, and had no plans, wasn't in touch with any of them. And then I'd gone to audition for like a Renaissance festival as a performer just to get a gig somewhere. And my mom I was driving past what was going to be Good Records, and Tim runs out in front of my car and it's like, stop. Did your mom tell you I called her this morning? And I was like, what are you talking about? It was before we had cell phones. And he's like, yeah, Julie, his wife, who also founded the band. She had called UNT, the admissions department, and begged them they knew that I had applied and was trying to get into the School of Music there, begged them to give them my personal information. They did. I don't know how. I mean, that speaks to Julie.
That was the 90s.
It was a different time.
Yeah. So they got my mom's number.
The Wild West.
Yeah. And they were like, well, I'm starting a band and I want you in it. And I was like, I mean, and it's kind of sight unseen a little bit. Like I had never auditioned or sang in front of him. I remember one day he was like, so do you think you could like break glass? And I was like, what? No, I don't really think that's possible, but I am your girl. Like I am your girl. And he's like, okay, all right. So that's how I joined the band. And then I think it was a couple months later, he had me over to his house and he had babies around and we were just in his bedroom. Julie was filming us and we were just singing, like just duetting all these original songs. And I'm just trying to be cool. I'm like, I think I'm 18 or 19 and I'm just trying to act cool. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's it.
Amazing.
And I never knew that.
That's a good story. You have to invite me on a podcast to get this stuff.
Should talk to each other.
Hey, we've got 3 weeks in a bus.
Yeah,
we
that's
talk
true.
all the time, but I didn't. I was a hopeful vocal performance major at UNT, and I chickened out on my audition. I didn't know that you were
really? Oh my God, I want to hear that story.
You're at UNT. Holy crap!
Wow.
Yeah, her voice is gorgeous. What did you chicken out?
Oh, because but the same reason I didn't chickens out.
It happens.
Yeah, I know I chicken out of everything.
I chicken out, man.
Yeah, my first response in my head is always no.
Well, we do that before our shows
yes.
too. We're like, what
every
are we
time.
doing?
Why are we doing this? Yeah, always. Jessica, how about you?
Well, I had no idea who Tripping Daisy was. That's how that started. I grew up very, very sheltered, the oldest of 3 daughters, and moved out. My dad's military and retired now, and so I moved from Hawaii to Dallas just to get my life. My parents were still traveling, and I had a job, and I ended up moving out to Dallas, and just to kind of start my life, I was a merchandiser, and I do have a background in music. My whole family on my Mexican side is actually in Los Angeles, and they work and they're successful in different pieces of the industry. But that wasn't, I mean, it was around, but it was never something, I'd sang. This was not a trajectory for me. I was in a, kind of fashion merchandising world and just trying to figure out life. Long story short, I was new to the Dallas area, and what my assistant, she was like, hey, do you want to hang out with a group of friends of mine at Club Clearview, which no longer exists. That was in Dallas. And, I mean, she could have said just about anything, and I didn't have any friends, and I wanted to have friends, so I said yes. And that's when I met who's now my husband of 23 years. But that's when I met him there, and he is best friends. His best friend is one of Tim's brothers. And so we just end up having this friendship in our early 20s. And fast forward, Josh and I got married, and we had Julian, my oldest, and we had moved away, came back. And around that time, Polyphonic had gotten signed, and they were going to go on tour, and a few people that had been in the band had regular day gigs. And so they weren't able to tour. And so I'd done some different music stuff. Anyway, all of that to say is that Tim's brother had said, "Oh, Jess sings." I played a little guitar and some other stuff. And so then fast forward a little bit more, I have CP, Chris Penn, asking me if I have my passport. Like it was really like this tree of trust situation. And
Wow.
I was 25 with a 1-year-old, and I'm not sure why I said yes and thought it was a good idea, because I didn't have like the stargazer eyes. I didn't know who Tim was other than Adam's brother, or his brother's, like, who was our friend. And and so, but I thought, I had seen a Polyphonic Christmas show, and I said yes. But that's me in my life. I am a fire, ready, aim person. I'm pretty calm on the outside, but I'm very like, I'll just like move and make things happen. And so I was like, okay. So then I remember the first tour, and I also remember the first tour being like, oh, I can't do this. There's what did I remember saying to myself, like, what did I get myself into? It was a European tour. We didn't have a tour bus. It was a very big band with a lot of young a mixed group of 20-year-old, people. And our writer now has like fruit trays and vegetable trays and juices and sparkling water. Well, the writer at the beginning was one bottle of Jägermeister. So, and I mean,
that's a whole chapter.
That's a whole chapter. But like, I just,
oh my God.
I just was telling myself, what did I get myself into? I can't do this. I cannot, there's no way I can do this. And I'm still here. And like, so I don't, that was through having another baby. And obviously I was 25 when I joined the band, and I am now 47 years old. So, and here, to be honest, when this tour was dropped on us, I thought, I can't do this. I think I tell myself that every time. Like there's
again.
Constant. We were at Love Reunion, and I was like,
we were at Reunion.
How am I going to make this work? We have like a million other moving parts. I was like, I can't do this. Somehow I'm like packing my bags, and here we go.
I want to get back to tour life later, but I just want to interject this, is that I sing with Elvez, the Mexican Elvis, if you don't know him.
Oh, awesome.
And I joined the band when I was, I think, 26 or 27 or something. And I remember the woman training me and the other girl who were going to be taking over as the two singers, the Elvets. She was 40, and she was joyless, just completely joyless. And she's training us. She's teaching us the moves, like, does this.
Oh my God.
And I just remember saying to the other girl, I was like, oh my God, kill me if I'm still doing this at 40. Guess what? I'm 56 and I'm still doing it.
Yes. As long as your vocal cords can do it, you should.
Yeah. As long as Robert is still doing the splits.
Yeah.
Robert, who is Elvis, he's still doing this.
Robert Lopez.
Jump splits.
He had hip surgery and he's still doing jump splits. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's bravery.
So it's almost out of pride now. I have to it's my ego. If he's still doing it and he's older than me, like, I gotta stop.
Kristen, you're next.
Hi.
We should also say, let me just say off the top, we should thank Kristen because she was often our bartender / help PA person in some of our early CNC shows. So
that's nice.
Bless you for doing that. You're always just a solid person. And
thank you.
Miss Butt is always there for you.
That's so nice. I had no recollection of doing anything for your shows. So
then never mind.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
I used to drink a lot. So I don't honestly remember. I would bartend.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. It wasn't like bartending. We'd have
serve
like
drinks.
free wine
and beer
at the Steve Allen Theater. We were just kind of like chaperoning.
Vague memories now coming back. Got it. Yes, I bartended for you. The year was 2007. I was going to this church in Deep Ellum, and they were like, hey, we want you to open our coffee shop. And I said, hey, I don't drink coffee. And they're like, well, it's fine. You don't need to know. Why would you need to drink coffee to open a coffee shop? So I opened a coffee shop and Jess and I were like in the trenches for a couple of months, just like figuring out how to open a coffee shop and how to make coffee and how to do merchandising and ordering and customer service and like, anyway, burned out real quick. That only lasted like 3 months. But in that time, Jen got pregnant and Jess asked me if like changed my life and asked me if I wanted to be in the Polyphonic Spree Choir. And of course, like there was no question that yes, I do want to be in the Polyphonic Spree Choir. And it was just an immediate life change. I felt electric.
Wow.
I immediately like electrified, and I feel like I've just been electric since. The band's been like this insane roller coaster of cool, hard things for 20. Well, no, I haven't been in for 20 years, but I took like a little 10-year hiatus, and then I rejoined.
Well, to do some decent shit, so we should talk about that too.
Sure, we don't have to. It's not. That's not what this is about.
Actually, we will.
We will.
I'm her person.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
we will.
Yeah.
We will a little bit. Yeah, we will.
Okay.
But it's not about me.
Constance, Kako.
Well, first I'm going to say Stephanie is my sister and she got me into the band. So I guess
Nepo
y'all,
baby.
I'm a Nepo baby, and I'm gonna admit it so that way it doesn't come out in the press that I'm trying to hide it.
Constance is 12 years my junior.
Hi, yeah.
She's
Big
a
sis.
legit sis.
I'm a legitimate little sister.
Yeah.
But she I mean, I've been watching the Spree forever since I was like young.
Since I was like 5 years old.
Since I was like 5.
Yeah.
But I'd be going, and I've always an amazing show. Always like
Always amazing, yeah.
just so much coming at you. Like going and seeing the Christmas show as like a child is like it feels like you are in like a magical. You're transported into some totally different dimension. So I've always been in love with the band and the show, and you think you know all the songs until you are in the choir, and then you realize you don't know the songs at all.
Then you just sing La La.
And I remember Stephanie calling me. It was the week before the Austin tree lighting show in 2018, maybe 2017. I can't remember. But she was like, "Hey, we need another choir member. Can you learn the Christmas show?" And I was like, "I know the songs, and for sure, I will definitely sing with the choir. That's great." And so it took me a week, and then I was singing at that tree lighting show, and then the next week was Christmas show. So I like learned a rock set, and then that same set we did at the Christmas show, and I learned all the Christmas show for the next week. Wow. And then that was it. Then I was singing in the choir, and Kristen helped teach me all the parts that I needed to know. She like stayed up late that week before Austin and taught me everything that I needed to sing, and it was great. It was magical, and I was like, I can't believe I'm singing on stage with songs that I've loved forever with awesome people who I'm getting to perform with Stephanie. That was so cool. Like, I can't remember the last time that, like maybe a Nutcracker, the last time I performed with one of my family members.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, probably one of the variety shows, honestly.
Oh, no, yeah, you did one of our CNC shows. You did,
And
you did,
oh, no, she's not there yet.
She's mute. Okay, this is what Stephanie said. I'm setting up. Keep me muted because Mark's practicing.
Gotcha.
Dear,
Got it.
We're doing our show.
Can he practice later?
Yes, you did one of our. You have done it. I think I think Stephanie's done it too. Stephanie did it when she was pregnant with Juniper. She didn't know she was pregnant with Juniper yet. She found out later because I think we went to. I remember this. Kristen and Stephanie and I did go to Formosa one of these nights when she was in town, and we were like drinking Manhattans and stuff. And then like
it's always like that before
months,
you find out you're pregnant.
And somebody was like, "I'm pregnant."
Like you're drinking like a fish.
Mm-hmm. What kind of damage have I done?
Totally. I had a complete panic when I found out I was pregnant because I was like, oh my God. I counted back going like, oh my God, I was already 4 weeks pregnant.
But yeah, and Constance did that great. It's the end of the world, like the
Yes.
worst song in the world.
did.
We thought it would be great to open a show singing "It's the End of the World" as we know it,
And learning all those
one of those
words.
moments of like, oh, we know the song,
Yeah.
and then going, oh no, and
Not at all.
nothing makes sense in that show. Nothing, or that song, nothing connects. Anyways,
REM,
Terrible.
End of the World. for
Hold
those of
on.
you who don't
Are
know.
you saying you know all the lyrics to that song?
We
I mean, we
learned
learned
them.
it for the show, and then it went out.
Gone.
Like, but if it came on, could you sing that, Constance?
I would
I probably could
Probably
because
probably.
I
danced it.
listened to it for a long time, choreographing a dance to it.
She
So,
choreographed
like, I had-
And
her
you
and my
guys
friend
sang?
Jane, and we sang. Yeah,
and we sang
Oh
it.
my God.
Jen,
it was.
we probably know it as they probably know it as much as we know the waitresses song.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say it was a very similar experience. to The
Experience,
Waitress.
yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes you find things that connect to each other. Another hard one that we'll stop talking about ourselves at this point. But Holiday, Madonna's Holiday,
Oh,
we decided to sing, and we thought that'd be
Full
super
idea.
easy. It's not, because there's so many things that are repetitive and then not repetitive, and it was just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, what did we do?
but
What
yeah,
did we
it's
do?
it's that thing of like, yeah, I got this, and nope,
No.
Nope,
No,
not at all.
I want after. Well, Stephanie will come in and introduce herself in a moment, but I just have to say, like, that is one of the great unique things about the Polyphonic Spree, is because sometimes you hear bands or you hear a song and you're like, oh my God, wouldn't it be great if they had like a horn section just to like fill it, or wouldn't it be great if there was a choir to like fill it, just give it a little bit more? What about strings? That would be great if they had some strings in here. And like Polyphonic is just that uniqueness of bringing all of those elements together.
Mhm.
And I think that's why it's always such a wonderful
Beautiful.
show. Plus your energy, of course, like is awesome to watch. But again, bringing just all those elements together for every single show is just, it's
Oh yeah,
really
It's-
fun
it
to
is.
watch.
It's always joyous. It's always
Yeah.
just always one
I've
of my
always
favorites
been-
to see.
I've always been jealous, like, of the people in the audience. I want to take a step out one day, and maybe our children will take it on, and then I can watch that iteration of it. But I would love to see it at some point, because the euphoria you hear
Yeah.
people have during a
Yeah.
show of ours, it sounds incredible. I know it's incredible being on stage and singing the songs, but I can't imagine taking it all in out front.
Yeah, it is incredible. It's really, yeah.
Not to
it's-
toot our own horn, but
No,
I mean,
but it's
who I've heard.
absolutely true.
Amazing.
Well, Jess, have
is.
you ever seen a show? Have you ever been to a show before?
Was
Did
at
you say you
the
had?
very first Christmas show.
Oh, right, the very first.
Oh, then that's
Where
yeah,
was that? Lakewood?
Yeah, it was at Lakewood.
Wow.
Yeah,
fun.
very first.
You guys
time.
you guys did a Christmas show out in LA once. Was it just one
Yes.
time?
I
Yeah.
loved
That
that
was-
tour.
that
so
Was that at
was-
much.
the
Freaking
Fonda?
fun. Yes, it was.
It was so
They had, like,
fun.
ribbons, like old school
Yes.
relay race
It was
ribbons.
really fun.
Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or am I confusing a New Year's Eve show too? Do we do both? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
Who remembers anything when they're in LA?
They all
And you're in your 20th.
I don't. Let's see. I'm
yes,
gonna check
that's
seeing
having-
Stephanie real quick.
she's having camera issues.
No,
Oh.
no.
So as soon as she's got it sorted out, we will have her on. I see her. She has a nice picture up right now. But so let's get back to then like touring. You guys are getting ready to go back out again. How long has it been, first of all, since you've been on tour?
I don't know.
I haven't.
It's been long enough that I agreed to do it. Like, so now,
Right.
so now I'm like,
Short-term memory.
yeah. Like, I mean, you're literally like washing your bangs in a truck stop bathroom. You're stripped
Yes,
of a lot
yes.
of
Of dignity.
a lot of dignity, normality. I mean, I think the last ones. I know the last thing I did was Japan.
Oh.
And I did not have a baby, but the two tours before that, I had taken my son, who's now almost 18, on those tours.
Oh
And
wow.
so my husband, Chris, works with a band, and he would have him strapped to like a baby Bjorn during the shows at like 1, 2 a.m., whatever. And I will never forget, like we're getting off work and it feels like, it's 6 p.m. at night, but in reality, it's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And you walk into a gas station and you see this look of horror with people like, what is your baby doing wide awake at 2 a.m. in a gas station? So yeah, that was fun. I think that was really like, oh God, I can't keep doing this. But on the flip side, as a 44-year-old woman, and it feels like life is just, speeding by. It's like, you have to take these opportunities where you can. Hell, a lot of these people are my best friends. So I don't have to work. I don't have to take care of kids. Sorry, Chris. I can go and just have fun. And I know there is going to be a lot of anxiety. I think I could speak for all of us getting on that bus. But once I get on that bus, it'll be out of sight, out of mind, and I'm going to have fun. Yeah. I'm here to sing and have fun.
Yeah.
Right, ladies?
Amen, sister.
Yeah, I think that's the way it is, right? I mean, it's like everything goes away once you step on stage. It all just goes away. I mean,
or even just get on that bus. Get on the bus.
Yeah.
Stake your claim on a good bunk.
That's right.
Yeah, we ought to be
all about that
on that.
Which we're decided. We'll talk later, but we're decided. We got a good spot.
Okay.
Seniority.
Just what was the last tour you did?
Oh.
Was it 2012?
The van tour?
Was it the van tour?
I did the van tour, but I think there was something else after that. And
It was a van tour.
We'll get back to it. We'll talk about it.
Maybe that's an after hours.
Oh gosh.
No,
we need a couple.
Not with we got a lot of musicians that are watching.
I need a couple more NA cocktails before I talk about that one.
Oh my gosh, that was.
Van tours are the worst.
I think. I think the trickiest thing. I mean, there's definitely things like with technology that has made it a little easier. Like I'm just thinking about all the things that I ordered so that I can keep my lifestyle. Like I have my protein shakes in singles. I have my mushroom coffee with my collagen in singles, like things that I got things that like when you're in between places, you're not at the mercy of like whatever random gas station in nowhere, USA. You can kind of keep a sense of normalcy for just your lifestyle. I think just a lot of people being older too, they have more responsibilities or they've made choices just to have a more sustainable life. So it's a little less crazy. We have a lot of, there's a core group of us that more or less have been together for quite some time, but then we do have a number of gig players but they're so good. I mean, they do some amazing work outside of the band, but what they put on the robe and you think they've been with us forever. And they just they're just so good at what they do. I mean, that is just elevated over the years. So that feels really good. But I will tell you one of the things I'm most excited about with just smartphones and technology and things like that. So yes, what Jennifer was saying about showering, it can be weird. I've always been an early riser. I love mornings, even when we're on tour. And primarily it's because if we're going to shower, there might be a day room for all 20 of us to shower. So that can get disgusting real quick. Or it's a venue shower. Now, some venues are really nice, but most of them are what you would imagine and not so much. And so I like to try to get to the bathrooms like when there's like clean and I can so we call it like a little bird bath. Like you just kind of like do what you need to like freshen up or whatever. But so I don't know if you have, well, I'm sure you have it. It's national, but there's ClassPass. So ClassPass.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I'm so excited about I totally forgot about this because, the venue should be in cities that have probably fitness places of different types. So ClassPass, like you can, my plan is that they'll tell you what classes are around. So I'm going to hit up a yoga or a meditation or something early in the morning so I can use their shower. I mean, I do yoga and I love that. But also I'm just like, how do I get like a clean place to shower? I was like, so I'm going to start looking through. Okay. So then this is what's really great is, so I just saw, and I texted it to Jennifer and Kristen because they have this offer. Like if you've never done ClassPass before, it's a month free. So I was like, all right, get it because we can have clean showers and take a meditation class or something. So
Well,
I'm
Yeah,
seeing
we
Stephanie.
elevated this for sure.
in LA. Oh, she did it.
Yay!
Can you
this
hear
is
me?
Yeah.
Another Dolph.
Yeah.
Yes, this is another Dolph. We're very Dolph
Yes,
heavy
hello.
on this show today.
Yeah.
Stephanie, we've been talking about
I'm surrounded by people,
touring.
by the way. Mark, Juniper, and
Go
Major
away.
staring
Hello,
at me.
everyone. Hello,
Go away.
everyone.
You're not in the show. Oh my god.
Hi. Stephanie, we were just talking about touring and tour life.
Stop it.
But tell us before we continue with that, what is your story with joining the band?
I joined right before they started touring for Fragile Army. So what was that, 2006, Jennifer?
Yeah. Yes.
2006?
Or 2000. Yeah.
Five?
2006.
2006?
5. Oh,
Mark's
Mark
not
says
in the
2006,
choir.
2007.
He's not in the choir.
You're not in the choir. You're not allowed to talk.
I got you in the choir. Give me a break.
Which is what he would say.
That is in my notes. I did put in my notes for Crissy. Stephanie slept her way into the band.
Yeah.
So they were getting rid of the boys in the choir, and they were pulling in people to be part of the girl choir that weren't already in there. And I think Mark kind of went, "Hey, I have a girlfriend who's an actual like professional performer. You guys want to use her?" And so that's how I got in the band.
And then Stephanie started doing her like she started doing her high kicks, and they're like,
Yeah.
no, wait a second."
Not appropriate.
She's still working on getting that involved. Yeah.
For those who don't know, Stephanie was a rockette. We have talked about you on the show before.
Yes.
Especially like after seeing you on, in the parade or whatever.
Yeah, we throw that parade clip up all the time. You get those like good pictures of those good videos, even if they happened 10 years ago. It's like, we're still gonna
recycle
roll this.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen the photo we used for this?
Oh, it's from 2012.
Yeah, it's old. So old. That one might have been a year later.
Yeah.
That was after our first.
The first one.
It was maybe 2 years later. Yeah.
And now we're talking about tour stories. I do want to touch, like, who was there, because I'll give it to Crissy. It's her boyfriend, but we always want to hear the Bowie stories.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got one. You want to hear it?
Bowie.
Oh wait,
Yes.
never mind. I don't have.
Yeah.
Please.
No, it is.
No,
if you
can't
could,
say that.
it's a really
I have
good
it-
story.
I have
Like,
it
so-
circled. The
We
whole
love
Bowie, I have
him.
it circled on the notes.
Yeah, and we have like, our friend Pinky did a photo shoot with him. It's like I feel like everybody except for me has a Bowie story.
Like that will be in my epitaph. Like I want it on my headstone. Like I mean, it doesn't get any better than being on a tour because, and Jessica can attest, like it was amazing. You're playing these huge venues. His catering was insane. You were fed 3 good solid meals every day. It was incredible, but you really wouldn't see the man, the myth, the legend very often. And if you did see him, it was bizarre because, you're thinking you're going to see this person like dressed to the nines. He was so nondescript. Like it was like a tan shirt, tan pants, tan baseball cap pulled down. And so you wouldn't see him. You'd interact with his band a lot, just eating dinner. But you would never really see him. And so about halfway through the tour, he was like, I really want you guys to come on and do a song with me in my encore. So during one of his sound checks, that was like one of the only times that I could say I'd ever been in close proximity to him. But I never would have spoken to him. Like I just wouldn't have. And so me and this other guy, Michael Turner, used to be in the band. We've wrapped the sound check and we're just talking to the monitor guy about fixing something. And again, like he's in my peripheral, but I don't even think I realized it was him because he was so low key. And we're walking off stage and he passes and he goes, "Good job, you guys." And I just go, good job, you too. And I just like fell apart. And my friend was like, oh my God, you just fucking blew it. Let's go. And that was the only time I ever spoke to him, and I couldn't even get my words. But who could get their words around him?
No.
It's freaking David Bowie.
No.
So yeah, that's my Bowie story.
We opened for him in Roskilde in 1996 at the Roskilde Festival, and they had like these like bungalows basically, or trailers that were our dressing rooms, right? And he was in the same area, but he wasn't there yet, and we had to clear out of there as soon as we were done so that he could go in. Because and go in and be there. So yeah, it was like literally like this, passing him, like that was him,
Incredible. I mean,
but still, I don't care.
In his presence, in his orbit, like he laid eyes on me, done. I'm good for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Well,
our friend Pinky got to have her nipple tweaked by him. Photo.
She has an amazing picture that she's like laying naked on top of Bowie, and he's like doing that to her nip. And he was very like, she told the story. She did this show season 2 or something, and she was like, he's very careful and very protective of her and all that kind of stuff. It's so cool. And the only time I didn't have I don't have a story, but our friend James Pettit, who Constance knows because she danced with him in our show. Mm-hmm. He was like he's a marketing exec at Warner Brothers and was directly working with Ellen. And so the day that we got to go, my friend Shauna and I, this was like, I don't know, 2004 or something like that. We went to go see Ellen, and Bowie was one of the guests, and he had taken us backstage. So we're like peeking into all the dressing rooms, and he's getting his makeup done at one point. And I was like, oh, he's just like in like cargo pants and like a hoodie, like his pre-show thing. But that's what he wore on the show. Like he was just like chill, like in a little cart. It's like adorable. Anyways.
Yeah.
Bowie.
Bowie.
And you guys all have a fantastic picture with him.
You do?
There's a picture somewhere out there.
Oh, then I have it here.
Okay.
Well, that was when
when I was throwing them up so quickly.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Well,
not yet. We haven't put them up yet.
Oh, okay.
No, but
Crissy, show your tattoo.
Oh,
because she loves him so much.
I would commit some space for that. Yeah.
Anybody have any? We want more tour stories, I think.
I know. How about a favorite place to tour, or a favorite just like show that sticks out in your mind?
Oh, the Nobel Peace Prize. That was.
I was going to ask you about that.
That was
because Tom Cruise was there, right?
Oh, yes, everyone was there. That was wild.
That was
wow. Tell us about it.
It was. I mean, I think because we've been on tours where you're with talent, but you're not necessarily like with them. You might brush up against them. It was very interesting everybody was there and all together, and everyone kind of knew each other. So we're about to go on, and Tom Cruise is here, and Oprah's here, and Tony Bennett is here, and Cyndi Lauper's right here. And it was really, it was surreal. And then we go out, we perform, everyone has their performance. It felt very summer campy though. Cause there's only so many people in the world that have that experience together. Sure. And then you can have experiences on tour, but this is also the Nobel Peace Prize, which was very, very special. Yeah. And so just performing at that, and
who was the recipient, or the recipients, I guess, major?
I cannot pronounce the last name correctly, so I don't want to botch it up.
Yeah.
But I should have that better memorized.
What year was this?
I'm sorry.
What year was it?
Oh my gosh.
2004?
2004. I was thinking it might have been in 2004. I think I just had Sonny, he's 20 now. So that's a long time ago.
Wow.
Yeah, but that was very surreal. I just remember thinking, what am I doing here? Like, just how is this even, and there was a trumpet player, still a trumpet player.
What's his name? Bati?
Chris Bati. And I remember there was like the girls were like, Chris Botti is a hottie. And so, I mean, it was just, we make up these saying, let's dumb things, and they just kind of catch on. And so even throughout the years, I feel like that would come up just randomly. And then a couple of years ago, my husband went to a show, and actually he was invited by one of our priests to go to this show. And this particular priest knows like everybody in the whole world, it seems, especially international. They go backstage, and and Chris Botti was part of this show. I mean, this incident was about 5 years ago. So it'd been 15 years since we'd ever even had that encounter. And they get to talking, and then this priest goes, yeah, and mention how you might know him. And then talks about us performing. He goes, oh my gosh, I remember that. And he remembered us performing together. And he had a really fond memory of it. And so, I don't know, there's moments like that. That was definitely one of my top. I mean, I don't know how it couldn't be. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It's like when you start
amazing
to pull these things out of your hat, your memories, you're like, I mean, I forgot about the Peace Prize Award show. And then we were all on Tom Cruise's holiday gift list for a while.
I remember that. I
Wow.
remember Stephanie and Mark, getting gift list. Yeah.
I mean, if that's not bragging rights, I don't know what.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it was like Tom Cruise, and then it was Tom Cruise and Katie, and then it was Tom Cruise, Katie, and Siri.
Oh.
And then it was just Tom again. Like it just like
I think
You were on for a long time.
Yeah.
Ever the coconut cake though? That was never.
No, we didn't reach that status. I wish.
I want to try that cake.
Yeah.
Even more recently though, just being able to play Luck Reunion this
that was
past year was
amazing.
pretty epic too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've talked about that more because again, it was something that it was not well timed for my personal schedule. And so it just, because we don't tour. I mean, it's been forever. So we have one-off shows, but we all have lives outside of the band. So you throw in rehearsal, you kind of throw a wrench into everyone's life. And it's just like trying to figure it out. So I know for me, it just felt like, oh my gosh, this is just not a good time, but then end up doing it. But I came back and I was like, oh my gosh, it felt like, to me, it felt so personal. It felt like your best friend and all their extremely talented friends came out to a private ranch, and like everyone's having a great time, but not a crazy time. And there was hospitality. So if you're thirsty, there was like, they're giving out Topo Chicos, or what are those, like liquid death waters or whatever. So you could stay hydrated. Like it felt like if you're throwing a party with your talented friends and you're giving Southern hospitality, like that's what it felt like. It felt so good. I mean, that's definitely memorable. Very memorable. I'm so glad I went and did it.
I wish we had a ring though.
I wish to.
Yeah, what about that?
I can't badger my husband anymore, but you guys
I can.
You guys can.
Maybe we can just like
we were
We can all
promised
write a
love
personal
rings.
letter.
Like there is a ring that you can get if you play Luck Reunion, and I think it just fell by the wayside. So
No, they didn't realize how many people were in the band.
Yeah.
That's
so you
probably
can
it.
pay to get your own, and I'm like, I'll pay,
Yeah.
whatever. I want the ring. I mean, look at me, I'm ringed up.
We'll hashtag that and start a campaign.
Okay, please.
Can I
Ridiculous.
show some of the photos that were sent?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Where do I have them? There they are. Okay. And then whomever can talk about this, or Claudia, you can sort of lead. All right. So first, this is
from Longhorn. It was it wasn't Longhorn's like opening, like they had been
It was
open,
their
but
reopening.
Something like that.
they're
yeah.
reopening, but they had already been open for a little bit, but we were one of the first shows after reopening. So
Legendary Longhorn Ballroom.
Yes.
and look how good we look.
I mean, and I'm just
So
gonna
good.
say I love this photo so much.
I love us in
because
orange.
This right here, these ladies, they're the ladies in the club. they're the best. Like, this is my favorite lineup ever. No disrespect to any past people, but like, I love that I'm in this place in my life with these ladies. And so I
Me
love this
too.
photo.
Me
Love
three.
But
What
I
do we
do
have?
think that was one of our first photos of that new lineup.
Yeah.
I think.
I think so.
If I remember
I do like
correctly.
I do like these tunics a lot too.
I do too. They're super cute. Very flattering. All right, let's see. What do we have next? Here we go.
Jess wants to speak about this one.
All right. Go, Jess.
So this was a recent picture just a few weeks ago. We all this group here sang on a film that's in post-production called El Tanto por Cristo. It's about a clairvoyant monk on the coast of Texas. So my husband is he wouldn't call himself an auteur, but he is, and he directs his own film. So this is his second feature. And we are, and they haven't even heard it yet, but I have, but I'm waiting because I want us to all be together to hear it and to watch it. And it's incredible the feedback I'm getting. And if I told you who the feedback was from and everything, and we had to learn sheet music of something that was not an easy piece in a very short amount of time. Like, because when you're working on independent film, like, you have that time and you have to just get it in that time. That's it.
Yeah.
And so it's just been, my husband, he just finished some sound design, like we're wrapping all of this, but it's otherworldly, and it's overwhelmingly haunting, and I'm just so proud of us. And it's, we've always kind of joked as a group, because we'll always be like the responsible ones on tour, like the ones that have to like take care of the merch or whatever it is. And so
don't put that out there. Don't.
No. It's just the nature of probably being nurturers and whatever. And maybe things have changed. It's been many years since we've been on tour and whatever. But and so we talked about, people say I'm with the band, and I'm like, well, what if I'm with the choir? And and so we kind of have this hashtag of things like I'm with the choir, because it is such an entity and it's really special. It has when we're all together, it has a distinct sound. It's not a formal choir. It has a very distinct, it's childlike, but not. It's very ethereal, and what happened on this film is incredible. So that was the end of our session together just a number of weeks ago. And we actually have a private screening happening in October for our cast and crew and investors. And so I'm so excited for
Oh,
them.
great.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Can't wait to
that's
see
awesome. That's always a feat, getting your independent film up
Here
and
we
off the
are.
ground.
I love
Again,
this picture.
that's a great picture.
Yeah, this is great. Love it. Do you remember where this was?
This
The
is
same
the
show,
I think.
same show.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
one?
I think it's the same
Longhorn?
one.
Yeah.
Hashtag Kevin Sears took that. He'll get mad if I don't give him credit.
Oh, there you go.
We love Kevin Sears.
And that's my
we
first show.
started-
That was your first
Yeah.
one? Oh, cool.
That was your first one ever?
That was my first one. That's the tree lighting in Austin.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah. It's my first, because I'm in the pink
very
row.
cute.
And
Yes.
I only wore that for year one.
Yeah.
So that was just the Austin show and that Christmas show.
I love those Technicolor robes.
And
Just
what's
gonna
this?
throw it out there. Oh, that's a cuddle puddle.
I love it.
You want to
Libby,
talk
didn't
about
you
that
name
one?
This is a specific choreography for this song.
Yeah, that's
Is the choreography is cuddle.
cut.
This
Oh.
is something you will never see Crissy and I do.
Not once.
Not
once.
ever. We do not like
We
the
do
cuddle.
no cuddle puddles.
No, thank you.
We thought it was going to be weird, but
No,
it
it's a great
feels
picture.
Look, you seem to be
Very-
enjoying it.
No, it feels very honest and real for us when we're
Yeah.
on stage embracing each other, because that we love, like, there's so much love in between the five of us that this doesn't feel weird at all. It feels
No.
very
Well,
very special in the moment.
Well,
Well, what?
a particular height difference can make it feel a little odd, but I try to lean into it. 'Cause I'll wear some platform shoes and then I'm like towering over everybody else. I'm like, I'm gonna get a crick in my neck.
We usually have a good snuggle when I'm there, Jen.
Yeah, I know you and I work like we fit.
I know she's talking about me because I'm the shortest and I always wear flat shoes.
She is
Oh.
so short.
Well,
The tallest wear the tallest shoes.
well, Chrissy, how tall
Always.
are you?
I'm 5'1".
And I'm 5'10".
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So
this is
us
our
on
show.
stage together is ridiculous.
And I'm
Ridiculous.
not afraid of the heels.
No. And neither am I. Well, I didn't used to be. All right, these ones.
Oh, this is like the same show. All these Polaroids.
all of the,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
It's
the
okay.
Longhorn show.
It's all from that. Okay.
That's
What's
So
Daniel
cute.
Rodriguez.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daniel Rodriguez.
Very
That was
cute.
the day I was doing all the documentary work.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, I've got it. Oh, looky there.
There it
There we
is.
go.
There's Bowie.
Don't we just look like
Stephanie.
badasses?
Jessica.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my
See,
gosh.
now that's one of
amazing.
my favorite uniforms we had.
I was
'cause
about
we
to say
just
those
looked
uniforms.
I
badass.
Super
love those
cute.
too.
I almost
Super
wore
cute.
it.
I love them.
I almost wore it.
Oh,
Did you?
very cute.
Yeah. I
Wait, you
found
for
it.
that one show?
No, for right now.
Oh, I would have worn mine too.
I'm just gonna do this for a second. Just gonna do that.
Who is that?
Ah.
Standing next
Who
to
is who?
Fitzy.
I don't know. I think I was looking at this picture earlier because, like, it was like, if there was a sinking ship, men would put
Oh,
women
that's
and
cool.
children on the boat. But during this shot, it was like men were pushing women out of the way.
Yeah.
It was chaos. So I'm like on the fringe, whatever. I'm in the photo.
Right. That guy was a stagehand for
Was he?
one
Oh.
tour.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's like,
my
get me in
gosh.
there. All
Or
right,
maybe
this
2 tours. 'cause
show.
I know it is.
This is
Oh,
a great.
That was a good one. I love those
This,
tunics.
holiday outside show.
Oh yeah, food.
I was so
Yeah,
sick
Reliant.
that day.
Everyone had
no.
hats on that had little in the audience. They gave everyone these hats with lights. So like the audience had just like these Christmas hats that were like moving with like red
Distracting.
dots moving. They were distracting.
There was an armadillo at one point.
There
on
was an
stage.
armadillo.
Oh my
on stage.
gosh.
What?
Yes. Some inappropriate
a
things.
mascot,
things
a mascot, not like a live
Not
Okay.
It
Oh,
would've been
not like a
cooler.
sweet armadillo that just like crawled onto the
I'm
stage.
not
Wandered on. Yeah.
Yeah, we're like Snow White. We're beckoning
Mark, right?
animals.
yeah. Mark
got
looks like a
Mark right there.
Dementor from Harry Potter.
Claudia.
What?
All
We were
right.
talking
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a cool shot.
That is
That's
a cool
majestic. That's a holiday
Yeah.
show for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
that's awesome.
shot. Very cool.
Yeah, we look cool.
That's pretty.
That's my first
this?
show.
Aw, look at those two.
Oh, it's your first
sisters.
show again? Okay.
Oh my gosh. That's the hodgepodge robe era.
It was. It was.
I like it. Who
Steph,
is
you
there
were good in
one
that
specific
picture,
person who
color.
makes the robes?
There used to be.
Yeah, it used to be Julie's mom that made like the OG ones,
Oh.
Oh.
okay.
and they were like potato sacks. They were sized
Oh,
like not there was no cut in them. They were just big, and so at some point the girls had kind of had enough and were like, we're getting custom ones that are fitted and have like a and then poor Jenny Kelly, we all went to get ours. I think it was in like DC, and we're like, we're taking our robes to get like cut. They're going to be cut down so they look more feminine. And I think hers was the first one that the seamstress must have cut into. And they cut like the deepest V, like too deep. But they like tried to give us all the robes back, and we're all looking and we're like, this looks great, awesome. But hers was like ruined.
Oh,
no.
Deep, like J-Lo V. And she had to wear it. She
Wow.
rocked it. Of course she did. But
That's so
Hell
funny.
yeah.
what's this from? This-
That's getting ready for Christmas.
Christmas.
is that this
Christmas.
last one?
Fantastic. No, because my hair is that color. So
I was
that
gonna say you can tell by your hair color probably.
2 years ago.
Ah,
Mm.
It was probably just not this
Cute.
last Christmas, the last one. That was
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Let's keep scrolling
was-
on that one.
Yeah,
That
put
was
some
actually a
older
fun
ones
show.
in.
Though.
This show was a bananas show.
It was fun.
This was
Yeah.
in Houston. It was pretty. They had like circus performers dancing in front of us.
wow.
And I thought
Cool.
you
They
guys
were-
looked so much alike all the time.
It's
That
so
was the
cute.
night
I love the
Kristen,
white
I
dresses.
frightened you
Oh,
because it
me
was
and
out all night.
Elizabeth. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Elizabeth, yeah.
So
I
cute.
frightened someone.
What do we got?
I
Okay, I
frightened
think that's it.
Kristen because I was out all
that it?
night on that
That's it.
one.
Yeah, I thought you were dead.
Yeah, sorry. I won't do that to you again.
Thanks.
Can I ask you a technical question? As far as learning your parts for songs, like what are you given? What do you just figure out on your own? As far as harmonies, all that kind of stuff. Like, how does that, or has it changed throughout? I'm sure it's changed throughout the years also.
Way back in the day, it was like Tim didn't know what he wanted, and I've always been a Motown fan where it's got like, you know, la-las and shoo-wop, my baby behind you. And so a lot of times I don't even know where that was coming from. I hear artists say that all the time. Like, I have no idea where this came from, but a lot of that stuff was just stuff that I was coming up with on the fly, at least on the second album. I think he kind of had a clear picture on that first album. And then, I mean, and to segue to like to this latest album, because I definitely want us to stick around for that for a second. Like, this is one of the most incredible albums I've ever heard. And it was a big difference to go into the studio where he had a vision of every aspect, every facet of every song. He knew what he wanted, and we were there to deliver. And I mean, I know I'm on the album and I have a personal connection, but this is very much, I think, the record he's always wanted to create. And I'm just uber proud to say that I've sung on it. Commercial success doesn't always happen, but I do think that people will be talking about this record, you know, decades from now for sure. I can't say enough about this album and how much I love it.
I think that's the same thing. Like, the first album he knew clearly, and this album, it feels like the first, but all grown up. Like, it has, you know, and that was going into the studio. It was very quick. He knew what he wanted and who he wanted to do certain things. And, you know, I'll never forget getting the SoundCloud for it. And I know it's always weird when an artist gives you their work and then you don't respond. And really, you know, you should say, I don't want to listen to this in a crappy way. I want to be present and listen to this proper. I'm just like, don't have that for a couple of days. But that's what happened. And I finally like had a moment to put my headphones on, and I was taking a walk around the block and the sun was setting and I'm listening to it like properly. And then as I turned the corner, like the full harvest moon was rising. Wow. And I look like a crazy person because I was just bawling. It was just it was the most proper way to, I'm glad I waited and then just like try to listen to it randomly on my phone or in my car or something. And I just think when people take this in, like the show for sure, but then so the new project that's coming up with like the experiential film that's happening is you have to just experience it, you know?
Wow. Can't wait. I mean, this sounds like an amazing album. Was this one already released? Is this the one I've been listening to?
Salvage Enterprise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That happened. It is amazing. You're right.
Yeah.
It's like it's really beautiful. Does anybody have, other than this one, a favorite album? Or do you think do they all just have sort of their own?
I have favorite songs.
Yeah. What's your favorite song?
I really love Move Away and Shine in 2,000 Places. Those are my favorites.
Thumbsucker was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that was one of my favorite projects ever. That was amazing. Thumbsucker is a great soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a really cool, great movie, great soundtrack. Yeah, that was really cool.
Definitely the first album for me. It's so nostalgic of an era and like how everything began. It has an innocence and a brokenness and a hope to it. And I feel like I said, like this Salvage Enterprise just bookends that kind of collection for me personally. But Thumbsucker, I was recently, why was I listening? Oh, I know, because I was talking to our composer and I said, I referenced a couple of the songs and like kind of like what I wanted to hear on what we were doing with the film on a couple, like just technically. And and I was like, man, I really love this so much.
Well,
Stephanie?
Yeah, what are y'all?
yeah,
Here?
Sorry, I have to randomly pop in and out with the mute button. But I don't know. I feel like recently, or within the last year, Kristen and I have driven around in a car, and we were like, "What's that Fragile Army song that we like so much?" And we put it on. We'd be
It's
like,
all of
"It's
them.
not this one, but this one's a banger," and we just like keep going through them. We went through the whole album. We were like, I mean, we should be doing the whole album. We love the whole album. And I don't know if that's part of because that was my performing introduction with the band, that it has like a special, it was a lot of fun to do. And when you listen to it, it's almost like you forget how good it is, because it's not always, those songs aren't always features in sets, especially some of the ones that are a little bit, I think, more difficult to perform or need more, I don't know, technical support or something. So you don't get to play them a lot, but then you listen to them and you're like, oh my God, this was a good one. Oh, this was a good one too.
Yeah.
So.
And it was such a fun album to tour. The energy, the choreography, it was just super fun to do that. I always wanted Tim to do. He's never done it live. He tells me he won't do it, but I always thought it would be one of the most incredible encores. Like the encore, after we've done the encore, and then people are there's that energy and people still want more, just to like really close out the show, is Overblow Your Nest, which we've never done live, but it's so good. But I feel like on the new album we have that with, oh my gosh, when we do the encore, well, I'll come back to the title of that song, but I feel like we kind of have the same thing. But he told me that it was because he just like nailed that one note in studio, and like he just doesn't think he'd be able to do it. But I don't know, I feel like he could. It's so good. That's when I wish we would do.
Yeah. Hey, you've got him on a bus for 3 weeks. You might be able to talk to him.
There you go. There you go.
There's time to wear that man down.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a favorite album? Or
yeah, I joined the band on Fragile Army, and I ate, slept, breathed, bled Fragile Army for that tour, and I can't get it out of my head. It's part of my DNA. You put on a song and I'll start singing it, having not heard it in years and years and years. And it was so, it had an upbeat energy to it that I don't think a lot of the Spree records as a whole have. And I felt hot in the outfit. Like everything about it was just like, it was a vibe, man. And yeah, Steph and I went through almost every single song on that record, like, oh God, yeah, right. And we Mental Cabaret.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that song, when we do it and we do it
very theatrical,
we nail it. Holy shit.
And Annie was a guitarist on that, right?
Yeah.
I need to pause for a second because
I'm about to respond to this too.
I think this, deserves some attention. I'm not sure which one he's talking to, but just so you know,
Kristen, obviously, she was the last one to talk
because he's a bank manager. So
he's a bank manager.
He's a bank manager.
What constitutes many dollars?
Many dollars.
He needs your dollars.
Very.
I'm gonna ask
very fast. Yeah.
I need a number.
Yeah,
we want figures. We need
many
numbers.
dollars. Very.
I have to abandon
more
husband and children.
Yeah.
How much money we talking?
Durgalal, I'm down. I just need a number. I need to know what I'm getting into.
That's fair.
I think Soldier Girl is one of my favorite songs ever. And Crissy and I,
that's a banger.
Yeah. Crissy and I were working on a project years ago that never went anywhere. Maybe it will someday. I don't know. But we had the thought that it would be great if we could convince you guys to record it in Spanish. So we can use it for that, because I would love to hear it in Spanish.
Yeah, translate it. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, Crissy.
It's funny because it's like when are you going to have the opportunity to see this badass flute player clean the stage? Like, I mean, she was incredible. You couldn't take her, and she would like toy with the audience, like
Mhm.
make them yearn for her to start the song, and she wouldn't give
Uh-huh.
it to them. Like she was incredible, Audrey Easley.
On the
I
flute.
do want to say though, I want to give some love to Together We're Heavy. That's my fave.
Yeah.
Yeah, We Sound Amazed. That song, I'm like, can we never not have that on the set? Because I have like a core feeling of just being on stage and just completely losing myself in that song. It's so
Yeah.
incredible. Ryan on the guitar at the top, like, ugh. And then I think, what's that one? Now You Know You're Wonderful. What's that one? That one's
Beautiful.
on Fragile Heartbeat. What is
Beautiful
that
by
one?
Design?
No.
No?
You've always wondered.
No.
Now you know.
We've
You're
always
beautiful. You've always
wondered.
wondered.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Everything's
Because
all-
everything is all right, and then we do
Yeah.
the
That's one of
marching.
my favorites too, because of the studio experience. Where were
Isn't
we?
that-
It's I'm
Chicago?
calling.
There-
Is it
I'm
called?
Is it I'm calling?
No, it's not.
No, it's
I can't make- oh shit, sorry.
Where's Mark? Call him in.
Bring
Hello.
Mark back.
March and
Yeah.
Piro will know.
Junipers.
Hi, Juniper.
That's Jen. That's like one of your favorites.
I know. I
It's,
just have like this feeling of being in that studio, and
Ba-ba-da-da-da. Isn't it that one?
yes,
Yes.
every day of fun.
Yes.
If anybody's watching,
Younger
Younger
Yesterday.
Younger
Yesterday.
Yesterday. You did it. You got there. You got
I
there.
almost had it. Oh,
But yeah, that
Constance,
was
do you
awesome.
have one?
I always
a
wish.
favorite song? Yeah, I mean,
Or album.
it's hard for me because I mean, Salvage Enterprise is amazing because I know all the songs and we learned them together, and I learned them with this group of women, and like I'm very much a part of the process. I think Together We're Heavy is, classic, amazing music. Fragile Army is so cool. I don't know, but I just have favorite songs.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
stress Constance
That's fine.
out.
That's
I'm
fine.
so
No, I'm not gonna-
stressed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I asked. I'm
stressed.
sorry.
I want to say, like, as someone who is my dance ability is nothing, and I have always kind of been resistant to dance moves. Like having Constance and Stephanie in a band to like do more thoughtful things and dumb it down for someone like me, but it's like from stage, it looks beautiful.
It looks great. Yeah.
And
it does.
that's been a game changer, having those two like really involved in doing the choreography, especially for the new album.
I really I love working with Stephanie and like us getting our like preliminary video down, because we'll do a video, like a rehearsal for like 2 days and be like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And we get lost in our ability, like our dance ability. And not to say that we're to make
you
it
guys
more
They're like
simple,
and
but we start
Yes.
doing like too much.
Constance, like
I have a lot
Martha Gramming it out there. I'm like, all right,
track
take it down a
and,
notch.
and Stephanie's like, we can't do that while we're singing. Like, that's just, we're not going to be able
Until
to
we
do
do
it now.
And she's like,
mics.
we've got Jessica and Jennifer.
No, but I feel like you guys are always really
It's
like-
more a rehearsal process. We have such condensed rehearsal process
Yeah.
that it's got to be something that feels natural enough for everybody to kind of be in your bones with like 2 rehearsals. And that's hard when you're a dancer. So
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
you're a
imagine.
mover who sings, it's work a little bit more. So we make these big ideas and then we just kind of smush and smarter.
You can say it. You dumb it down. It's
No,
fine.
it's editing.
No,
They're gonna-
it's not dumbing it down. It's making it feel
Accessible?
like
Authentic
natural
to the
movement.
band,
It's like
yeah.
we take
natural, like
our
human
dance
movement.
dreams and make them natural human movement.
She's gonna bring in the harness and the aerial stuff, like pink.
Well,
hats.
it's a hard balance to strike, because I mean, you don't want these dance moves to overpower the music and what's going on.
Right.
Exactly.
But like, I just can't stress enough. Like they do like this, they come up with this like artistic things of where, we're just putting our hands up and letting it fall. And it's like, from the audience perspective and the pictures I see, like it's stunning.
Yeah.
And it just adds another layer
Beautiful,
that
always.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I've liked that with the some of the new songs, because there are moments where we would just be standing very still if there was nothing, and so
Mhm.
we got to do more of a dance, especially for oh my gosh, I'm
Nobody knows the names of any songs.
Shadow on the Hillside.
Yeah, shadows.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one.
So like we don't sing for the majority of the beginning of that piece. It's very slow, so it's not like we can be like this. So it there is a dance there, and it feels, you know, I feel very connected to the other choir members when we're doing that, because I'm like, yes, we're all going to do this on this beat, and like this, we're all about to look to the right, and it's because this one little chime happened in the music, and like both me and Stephanie were like, we got to do something. There's like a swoosh, and we were like, let's just look, and it feels really nice to do after like this breath, and it just feels really lovely. It's a great, like, I feel very connected to the piece, where if I was just standing there, I'd be like, well, this is nice.
Yeah.
Yes, because there was
Makes
a
sense.
time when there would just be songs or the band's doing something, and I remember Mark could just stand there, like, were you there? And we were like, I mean, do you just want to stand there? Like, but also, what are you supposed to do? So now that we have, well, you know, we've had them for a while, but now we have purposeful movement when we don't need to be like flinging our head left to right fast or something.
And everybody does it. I mean, like bringing up Celine Dion again from the Olympics, but you know, now there's footage of her when she was like, you know, getting dressed and getting her dress made for the show, and she's practicing every little, you know, movement that she's going to make, and she did everything you saw her do, and her like getting her costume ready. She did it on stage, and it wasn't like a big choreographed thing, but it was very intentional and made the song that much more, you know, which is what you guys are doing. I just want to ask really quickly, does somebody want to talk about the immersive theater experience that's going to happen?
So I actually choreographed a ballet piece for that. That's going to be, I was injured. I couldn't do it. So I set it on a dancer friend of mine, Maddie Hill. And we went into the studio, and oh my gosh, none of us can remember any songs, but I have to pull it up because I need to. But what this ballet is going to be, and they did a lot of work with other artists, like just theatrical movers and some not singers, but just like pantomime experts. They did people who have movement in their background. And we did this ballet piece, and they're going to generate like an origami, like folded paper person over the movement. So they have the movement set, and then like they're basically turning that dancer into like a folded paper dancer who's going to like dance on all over the screen. And we shot it for a while, and we shot it in slow motion and in double speed, and it was a really fun process. And it was really cool. Like he had this, Tim just was very, like we've said, he's been very like specific with his vision for this album. Like he knows what he wants to do with it. And he just was like, this is what I'm looking for. And I would like it to look like this. And and it was very easy to just go in and kind of do this dance piece. I think it's going to be sick.
And where is this going to be playing? Shown. I mean,
in planetariums.
The planetarium.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to eventually be a planetarium tour. My husband and son shot some of the live motion for it. So there's like different artists that are involved here, and like some are animators, and it's shot with a specific lens so that it's in a planetarium. So it's kind of round, and there's kind of a loose story, but it takes you through this journey, like where you can listen actually the album start to finish. And when we first, like, I guess it was around last year this time, when the album started to kind of make its rounds, there were these outside experiences that you could pull up a blanket and just lay under the stars and almost like a sound bath experience outside.
Wow.
And so now, and then this is pretty cool because it's in a controlled environment. And so you're able to, for as long as the album is. So I feel like that's a lot more doable for some people than a show. And you could bring families to, and it'll tour easily. So I don't know. I just think how it's going to be such a treat. I mean, I love the outside experience, but you're going to actually, but you did lose some of the pieces of the music because it's outside in this vast area, but this will be all contained and you'll just have this immersive experience.
Wow.
I just think the
That sounds
planetarium
amazing.
experience will be cool.
Yeah,
That
sounds
that's
great.
Super interesting. Yeah.
That sounds great. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming on. This has been amazing. And we wanted, like Claudia said, we've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. And I so wish I were going to be in town to see you play, but hopefully
I have
I'll catch you
I
again
have 2
soon.
showers in my place. You guys need them.
That's right. There you go. If somebody needs to come use my place while I'm away, you can shower.
3
here.
showers. No.
There you go. 3 showers. I got 2 here too. So there
4.
You had me at shower.
you go. But yes, thank you so much for giving us this time. And the album is beautiful. I was actually listening to it earlier today too. And so thank you for being here. And it's obvious you guys love doing this and care for each other. So it makes all the difference. Like we can see that from the audience, you know.
So if anybody's watching, come to one of our shows.
Yes.
There's the team.
Yes.
Please
Yes.
come.
And when do you start? The
The
First
26th
show
in
is
Denver,
August
right?
27th in
7th.
Colorado.
Denver.
All right, guys, look it
Denver.
up. Polyphonic Spree. Go to one of their shows. You will thank us. You will thank us, and you will be
It's
a fan
awesome.
for life. So, yeah, thank you all. Really, thank you so
So
much.
can we get back to the bank manager now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
definitely.
gonna start responding to him. Go on
Okay.
Facebook.
Let's work on a figure. Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for
Thanks
having
for
us.
having
Thanks,
us.
everybody. I'm gonna
Thank
end
you.
the stream. It takes a second here. Ending. Okay, everybody say goodbye.
Bye.